Okay, to begin with, we're going to talk about brake references, how the apexes should look, and how the exits should look. So, turn one, that roof line at the top left of your screen. As soon as that disappears from view, you want to be thinking about putting the anchors on for turn one. Okay, the apex for turn one is quite late. You don't want to be tempted to turn early, it's just going to push you wide. You also want to avoid hitting the curb on the inside. It's just going to make you bounce and then settle, and will also push you wide. Exit of turn one, you want to be using all of the rumble and some of the green. As long as you get your wheels straight on the green, you aren't going to be oversteering into the grass on your right hand side. For turn two is the shadow. You want to brake just before it. If you're braking at the shadow, you tend to be an understeering ballistic missile as you try to hit the apex for turn two. The apex for turn two, you want to be cutting quite tight to the rumble, if not a wheel on the rumble. Exit for turn two, you want to be aiming to use all of it. There's no penalties to be accrued here, but just to make sure, if you're on the green on that left, you want to be having wheels straight, or you are ending up in the grass on your right hand side. Brake marker for turn three is just before the rumble pads on the right hand side. Apex for turn three will see you cut in this corner, maybe even a wheel on the grass. That's where the quickest lap time comes from. Exit for turn three, you want to use it all. It's going to be extremely bumpy this part of the track, so you definitely want your wheels straight, or again, you're off into the grass on your left hand side. Brake reference for turn four is that marker board there just before it. You want to be braking. These tend to be knocked down during the race, so if that is missing, it's the green square that's on the Armco that you can just see to the right hand side of it. Corner entry for turn four, you want to stay wide. You're aiming for a late apex. So picking up the late apex, you then want to be tight to the inside left rumble curb. From turn 4's apex to its exit, you want to be picking up the throttle gradually, managing the oversteer so that when you hit the rumbles, you're at full power for the straight. Don't be tempted to dip a wheel into the grass on the right hand side, it's just going to hurt your lap time. Brake marker for turn 5 is that red paint on the Armco barrier on your right hand side. You want to be braking just as it disappears from view. Again, like turn 3, don't be tempted to be turning in early, it's a late apex again. From turn in to apex, try to be gradual. It's very easy to overturn here. You don't want to be putting any wheels on the grass on the inside. Exit for turn 5, if you had the power down at the correct time, centrifugal forces are going to be sending you all the way out to the rumble on the left hand side, but again, avoid that grass. Brake marker for turn 6 is the red paint on the Armco barrier on your right hand side. As it disappears from view, you want to be putting on the brakes. Apex for turn 6, you want to be cutting. You want your right hand side wheels to be running inside of that concreted grassy area there on the right hand side, just over the rumbles. Apex for turn 6, you can use it all again. There's a concreted area just past the rumbles, just before the gravel starts. Quickest lap time is going to be found if you use it all. Brake marker for turn 6 is the green paint on the Armco barriers. You want to be putting on the brakes just as it goes out of view. Apex for turn 7 is just the same as the apex for turn 6. You want to be cutting it. You want to be putting your right hand side wheels on that concreted grassy area just past the rumble curb. Exit for turn 7, you want to be running it all the way wide up to the white line, but most certainly not in the grass. brake marker for turn 8 is the white board. Now that is definitely going to be knocked down during the race. So if it's gone, it's the green paint on the Armco barrier on your right hand side. Apex for turn 8. You want to use all the rumble. You don't really want to use the concreted bit in the grass there. Exit for turn 8. Run it all the way up to the edge of the rumble, but again avoiding the grass. Common theme here at Brands. Corner entry for turn 9 is just before that white marker up ahead, just after the green paint on the barrier on your left hand side. Apex for turn 9 is as tight as possible to the rumble curve on your right hand side. Exit for turn 9, managing the oversteer, you want to be as wide as possible to ensure that you've got the best exit for the start finish straight. Right then, so I guess what we'll do is we'll put it into a lap and we'll see what that tends to all look like. Okay, to begin the lap at Brands, you want to maximize this exit and you want to run the longest, widest way to the start finish line to maximize the speed as you cross it. Brake marker to the roof line as it disappears. Pick up the apex late and then throttle all the way out to the green stuff. Your next brake marker is the shadow. Brakes, rolling off the brakes to the apex, picking up the throttle, running wide and using the green stuff. Brake markers just before the rumbles, clipping the apex and throttle out over the green stuff. Your next brake marker is the board. Another late apex, picking up the throttle and maximising the exit speed so you're going the fastest you possibly can down the straight. Now you've got a long time now until your next brake marker and it's really easy to miss them when you've got all this time. Spotted it, the red paint, picking up the apex and then throttle. Red paint again, clipping the apex, cutting it even all the way out to the exit past the rumbles. Green paint this time, cutting the apex, running it out to the white line. As you can see, the white board is already down, so it's the green Armco paint, clip the apex and running it out for maximum speed on exit. The next brake marker is just before the white board. Turn in for the apex and then pick up the throttle early to maximise the speed on exit. If this is a quali lap, you want to be running it tight to the white wall on the right hand side to shorten the distance. As I look through the multifunction display right now, you can see that my potential is 121.7, so I think low fuel qualities are going to be 120s.